Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to get our hands dirty with a really fundamental skill for anyone in DevOps or systems administration, managing RAID 5 in Linux. We're going to build an array right from scratch, then we're going to intentionally break it, to see what a real failure looks like, and then of course, bring it back to life. So let's get right into it. All right, let's start with a scenario that gives every tech pro a little bit of a cold sweat. You get an alert, and boom, a critical disk has failed. What if there was a way to keep your server chugging along, keep your data completely safe, even while you're scrambling to fix the problem?
Well, that is exactly the problem RAID 5 was designed to solve. It's a really clever technique that gives you a nice balance between performance and data protection, which is why it's been a go-to choice for making sure systems have high availability for years.
So, what is actually going on under the hood here? Before we jump into the command line and start building things, let's just quickly nail down the core concepts.
The first rule of RAID 5 Club is simple. You need at least 3 disks. And that's not a suggestion. It's the absolute bare minimum you need for the whole data protection scheme to actually work.
Now, you might be wondering about storage space. With RAID 5, you essentially lose the space of one whole disk. But that space isn't just gone. It's being used to store something called parity information. You can think of parity as a kind of mathematical safety net that's spread across all the drives. It's the magic key that lets the system rebuild all your data if one of those disks decides to fail. Okay, but here is the single most important limitation. The big, flashing red light you have to understand. RAID 5 can only survive one disk failure at a time. If a second drive dies before you can replace the first one, it is game over. All of your data is gone. And this is a huge risk with the massive drives we use today, because rebuilding can take hours, even days, and that puts a ton of stress on the other healthy disks.
Okay, enough theory. Let's roll up our sleeves and actually build our own RAID 5 array from scratch, step by step. This is where it gets fun.
The whole process really boils down to 4 main steps. First, we'll prep our disks, partitioning them with a tool like fdisk. Then, we'll use mdatom, which is the workhorse for software RAID in Linux, to create the actual array. After that, it's pretty simple. We just format it with a file system and then mount it so our operating system can see it as one big, happy drive.
And this right here is the magic command. We're telling mdatom to create a new device. We'll call it /dev/md0. We're specifying we want RAID level 5 with that -L5, and that we're using 3 disks with that -N3. Then we just list the partitions we prepared earlier. See, it's surprisingly straightforward. As soon as you run that command, the first thing you should do is check its status with cat/proc/mdstat. And what you're looking for is this. UUU. That's your all systems go signal. Each U stands for up, meaning all 3 of your disks are active, they're synced, and the array is perfectly healthy.
All right, now for the real test. Let's simulate a disaster. Let's see how our brand new, healthy RAID array handles the pressure. I mean, this is why we built it, right?
With this one simple command, we're manually marking one of our disks as faulty. We're basically telling the array, hey, this member has failed. Deal with it. Now, don't panic, this is exactly what we planned for.
So we check the status again, and look at that. You can see the change immediately. The output now shows U_U. See that underscore? That represents our failed disk. Our array is now in what's called a degraded state. It sounds bad, but the most important thing is it is still running.
So, this is the million-dollar question, right? A disk is down. Can we still get to our files? Is our data just gone?
Yep, absolutely. This is the magic of RAID 5 in action. Even with one disk completely offline, your data is 100% accessible. The system is using that parity information we talked about to reconstruct the missing data on the fly for every single read and write. Now, performance will take a hit for sure, but your applications, your server, they just keep on working.
Okay, so our array is hanging in there, but we're definitely in a vulnerable spot. Let's get into the recovery phase and rebuild this thing back to full health.
The recovery is a little 3-step dance. First, we have to formally tell the array to remove the faulty disk. Then, you'd physically swap it out, and you'd prepare the new replacement disk just like we did at the very beginning. And finally, you add that fresh new disk back into the array. That's what kicks off the healing process.
As soon as you add that new disk, the rebuild starts automatically, and you can actually watch the progress in mdstat. You'll see it go from that degraded UU state
to a rebuilding state, where you'll often see a progress bar, and then finally back to that beautiful, healthy UUU state.
So now you've seen the entire life cycle. We built it, we broke it, and we fixed it. Let's wrap up with some critical rules of the road and take a quick look at how RAID 5 stacks up against some of its rivals.
Think of this table as your cheat sheet for choosing the right RAID level. The key takeaway here, honestly, is that if you're working with big disks, and these days, who isn't, RAID 6 is a much, much safer bet. Why? Because it can survive 2 disk failures, which is just critical during those super long and risky rebuild periods.
And please, remember these best practices. Using identical disks is always a good idea. Saving your RAID config can be a total lifesaver. But the most important habit you can possibly build is to proactively monitor your disk health and replace failing drives immediately. Don't wait.
And if you only remember one single thing from all of this, make it this. RAID is for redundancy. It is not a backup. Let me say that again. RAID is not a backup. It protects you from a physical hard drive failing, but it will do absolutely nothing to save you from a ransomware attack, a software bug, or you accidentally deleting the wrong folder.
So there you have it, the full life cycle. Build, break, and fix. RAID 5 is a powerful tool, no doubt about it. It offers a great balance of performance and safety for things like file servers or virtual machines. But as we've seen, it's got its limits. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you understand the risks, is RAID 5 still the right choice for your most critical data? Or is it time to look at something even more resilient?